Shout out to everybody. Your boy is back. If you got a home theater system, shout out to y'all. It doesn't matter if you've got a sound bar, a dedicated home theater system. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, we all are here to enjoy sound and movies, right? So me personally, I've got like a couple of different setups. One, I've got a Onkyo RZ50 in my bedroom. In the house, I've got Anthem 1140. And here I've got, this is like when I record, and then I've got like a small theater in here. And here I've got an Avium, Anthem AVM 90, right? And so with F1, I got a chance to hear it on a lot of different systems. They had some demos of the F1 movie at CEDIA 2025. So, you know, you guys could, you know, if you were there, you would be able to hear it. I heard it on a couple different systems. One system was a Steinway Lingdorf system, and I think they did a collaboration, and they had a really nice setup there. Then I think I heard it may have been on a Trinoff that was playing the F1 demo at CEDIA 2025. Could have been a Trinoff or Storm Audio. I can't remember exactly which one for that movie. Now, I want to say this. I seen it in Adobe Theater. When I watched it in Adobe Theater, I was hoping to get a lot of height, like information that was going on. I did not get that in Adobe Theater, but the bed layer, the sound was pretty decent, right? And I'm like, oh, well, this is sound a lot better. Like, once I get it home, I felt like the movie was a little bit too long, in my personal opinion, but I thought it was done well. I thought it was a good movie. It was just a little too long for my taste. I thought the acting was pretty decent. I mean, you got Brad Pitt in there. He's not a bad actor. He may not have as much range as you would want from an actor, but he's not a bad actor. The guy that co-starred, the black guy, I can't remember his name, from Europe or something like that, he did a remarkable job, like, with the movie. He did, like, really good job acting. So the movie, like, you can kind of follow it. You don't really get too bored with the movie. They engage you with, you know, like, activity, you know, when it's called for, and storyline when it's called for. I think they did a really good job mixing it up. But when I got to CEDIA 2025 and I heard the demos for F1, I was just like, you know, I think it was the Storm Audio or the Tron, I can't remember which one, sounded okay. It wasn't anything crazy, right? And I'm just like, oh, well, this sounds better than the theater. And normally I feel like sound systems sound better at home, right? Like, you know what I mean? The movies sound better on your sound system at home. And like when I was at CEDIA 2025, I'm like, it's okay, right? And then I heard it in the Lingdorf system. And when I heard it, it's a Lingdorf Steinway, they've got a processor. I heard it in there and I was just like, oh, this movie sounds good, right? And they had like sealed subwoofers and stuff like that in there, a bunch of them. But it sounded like really good. They played the opening racing scene and it was indicative of what I heard like at the Dolby Cinema. So I'm just like, okay, well, the movie does. That was the last time one of the last times I heard the F1 movie. So I'm like, okay, well, it sounds good. Not a lot of height activity, but sparingly, right? Like when there's an announcer, you know, he's announcing things, he's talking, he's giving you information about what's going on with the race. That may be going on overhead, but for the most part, everything is kept to the bed layer. And I thought it sounded pretty good there. Like, as far as picture quality, I've seen it on a lot of projectors and even at home on my LG G4. I thought the picture quality, to me, was okay. It wasn't anything like as a standout. When I heard that the guy that filmed Top Gun Maverick was gonna like have some filming done in this movie, like film this movie, I thought it was gonna look amazing. I was not blown away by the movie. It uses very natural color palette. The cameras are not like in your face. They're not like a lot of Ari Alexa cameras. I like to film. Like I'm into filming and stuff like that. I, you know, edit and stuff like films and whatever, you know what I'm saying, like personal stuff, right? But it wasn't like an Ari Alexa. It was kind of just like muted colors almost, like with the movie. And the Dolby Vision that it has didn't really do much with it. I just thought it was okay looking, nothing major. I think they took the safe approach, right, with the movie on projectors. When I got it and looked at it on my LG G4, it looked a little bit better. You know, it's an LG G4, it's an OLED, right? It looked a little bit better, but it's, you know, it's still like, I felt like they took the safe route with filming the movie. You know, for as big of a, you know, much noise this movie made with marketing and promotion, I thought it would look better, but it was just okay. the racing scenes look like racing scenes. You know, it's just, it wasn't anything super crazy. Audio, when I got it home, right, on my Anthem, and I've got a Kaleidoscape and I got a 4K UHD player. I've got like what is it, Panasonic UB820, you know, so I ended up watching it on streaming first, right? And I'm just like, okay, well, let me see what it's like on streaming. And I'm like, the channel is making a little bit of money. I could do that, right? So streaming, it was just okay. There was like no dynamics to it at all, really. You know, it was just all right. You know what I mean? And then like one of the Kaleidoscape, I listened to it and it sounded a lot better. You know, a lot better. But it was still like okay. It wasn't like the Lindorf Steinway, you know, that's like that thing sound insane. Like their setup like was just insane with it. It didn't sound as good as that, you know what I mean? But it was pretty good. You know, it wasn't like I was floored with the audio presentation. And I think, I mean, it sounded better to me than how they had that room calibrated with the Storm Audio and the Trinoff. Even though those are supposed to be way more superior, I think it sounds better at home than at CEDIA 2025 in some of them rooms. But it wasn't, like, one thing we have to understand with this movie, right, is this is not like a sci-fi movie, right? You know, it's not like a space movie. It's not like a super action-packed movie, you know, so it's a racing movie. So if we're being really logical about this movie, a lot of the audio is going to be handled through the bed layer. If they had a lot of Atmos in this movie, it would probably be a little weird the way the movie was made, right? Unless you're talking about atmospherics, like coming in, like, you know, you can hear things like that. I think they could have did that a little bit more in the movie. But for the most part, I felt like the movie did its job. It conveyed what it was supposed to with the speakers that it used, right? Or what was utilized. I felt like there were times my subwoofers were working. They didn't go into overdrive or anything like that, you know what I mean? But I felt like they worked when they needed to. You know, it just wasn't a whole lot of, you know, information going through the subwoofers. Obviously I would like a little bit more, but it's a racing movie. You know, so a lot of times we may have to curb our expectations, you know, with movies. Yeah, we can get a movie that's marketed heavy. Oh, this movie is going to be the best. It's going to be the movie of the year and all of that. But then you get it or you watch it and it's just like, it's not what's being marketed. There is marketing and then there's reality, right? And I don't feel like I watched the movie The Conjuring, right? The new movie The Conjuring at the Dolby Theater, and it had all kind of like height information and, you know, like spatial awareness was like really good with the movie, and none of that was like really hyped up with anybody. It's like the movie, I didn't really like it, The Conjuring, but when I watched it, the sound was phenomenal in that movie. I'm probably just gonna get it for the sound. It sounded really good in the theater. This movie F1, I watched it quite a few times. You know what I mean? I didn't get through the whole movie the second watch. It's just too long. Like, these movies are way too long, you know, but it was okay. Like, the first time I watched it, I thought the same thing. I thought it was too long, but it was okay, right? And, you know, the story, some things about it, I did not like. I didn't like how the dude messed up so many times. I'm not going to ruin it, but, like, you know, like going toward, you know, in the middle of the movie and all, like, I didn't like stuff like that, but I think it builds character in the movie, right? But as far as like the picture quality, I thought it looked okay. I didn't think it looked great. I thought it looked all right. You know what I mean? The audio quality for a racing movie, I thought it was okay. They could have had a little bit more aggressive of a mix, but you got to understand this too. And I'm not trying to cape for Apple. I don't have any dealings with them at all. Like, Apple, they primarily focus on phones, you know what I mean? Or even like a lot of their mixes, some of their mixes have been pretty dynamic, like recently, which is very surprising. I just watched a movie with Matthew McConaughey about like a fire or something like that. It sounds really good. Like, you know, Apple's got some movies that sound pretty decent, right? But for the most part, their movies are like soundbar mixes. Like, yeah, they're going to give you like Atmos, whatever, but it's nothing crazy, you know? So I didn't, you know, I really thought about that, like watching this, like, yo, they don't, you know, we are like a niche community. Like, they don't want to like really go crazy with audio if only a few people are going to watch it like that. You know what I mean? But as far as the movie, I thought it did its job. You know, so I see it's being trashed, and I don't think it's completely warranted, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Just my, my personal opinion on the situation. I think it was just okay. You know what I mean? It's something you can watch if you like it. Maybe watch it again if you like the story. But if you want to be blown away with audio, this isn't the movie. You want to be blown away with visuals, this isn't the movie. You know what I'm saying? But that's my thoughts on F1. If movie companies, y'all just try to use the height speakers a little bit more, right? They're there for a reason, because I'm starting to feel like when a company puts Dolby Atmos in a movie, it's more just like a hyping thing now, because I don't feel like a lot of these Atmos mixes sound better than DTS HD Masters, to be real. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I felt like the mixing of the movie sounded decent, but it wasn't aggressive enough for a lot of people's taste, and I could agree to that, but I don't think the movie was terrible, you know what I mean, at all, you know what I mean? But y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. Should you buy it, or should you just watch it on the stream? A movie like this, just stream it. You know what I'm saying? Get it on the Apple TV, watch it. A Kaleidoscape is not going to make this thing sound a whole lot better. It's going to sound a little bit more like dynamic than obviously a stream, but it's not like crazy. It's not going to make it sound crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just, or a disc, it's not going to make it sound crazy. It's just, the audio is okay. You know what I mean? I think they put a minimal effort into the audio. You know what I mean? But depending on your system, you might have a system that sounds insane, maybe a Lindor Steinway or something. If you got something like that, it's gonna make anything sound incredible. You know what I mean? Or the system I heard is gonna, but like a Storm Audio or Trent-Off, it was just okay. They had a lot of F1, but that was just okay. On the Anthem AVM 90, it was just okay. It wasn't crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. Also, super thanks might help, because these movies are expensive, especially on the Kaleidoscape. These movies are crazy expensive. And I do want to say shout out to Kaleidoscape, because I think they did an update to where I know they did it on a Superman movie, audio and visuals, but I think they did some other updates where the encoding is getting a little bit better, to where you lose less dynamics in the movie. You know what I mean? This is what Google is saying. I don't know, because I had an update with the Superman and the movie or whatever, and it said that it's just across like all of the encoding and everything. I already thought the Kaleidoscape sound phenomenal, but now like that Superman movie sounds like really insane. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody. I'm out. Come rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. Peace.